Alrighty guys, what's going on? CharTang the Bearded Gamer here, and welcome back to a new review that I'm doing. This time we are going to be looking at Spider-Man, the new PS4 game. Unfortunately, this game is exclusive to the PS4, so all your Xbox boys and all your Switch guys, you're going to have to maybe get it one day, you have to wait, but for now, the only way to play it is PlayStation. The same as my God of War review, I said that that was a game to buy, a reason to buy a PS4. I'm going to say the same thing for Spider-Man. If you haven't got a PS4, go get a PS4 just so you can play this game. So without a doubt, the best Spider-Man game that I have played in a long time. The next one that was even close to this would have been Spider-Man, I think it was Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. So we're going back some ways. And in some aspects, it's really similar to that game, swinging around. It's kind of the aesthetics feel the same, but if we just take a trip back down memory lane for a moment, you remember the first Spider-Man game on the PS1, not the very first Spider-Man game, one of the ones on the PS1 where you basically, it was all building, you were on building tops, rooftops, and you were swinging around, just attaching to thin air, I guess, swinging around. And then the whole, and then down in the whole city, it was just a haze. That was part of the story, like the reason that you couldn't go down there into the haze was part of the story. That's a good reason. That's what they used because of the limitations of the PlayStation. This time on the PS4, we have the entire city with lots and lots of Easter eggs and references to other Marvel properties. You got the bloody Avengers Tower in the city, for crying out loud, which makes me think they're going to prelude to like an extended, like they're going to make more Marvel video games, and they're going to sort of based around this sort of the city. This is going to be how it is, because if you look out into the distance, the draw distance goes on for miles. You can see if you try to swing there, the game tells you you're leaving the play area and it just forces you back into the map. So, or maybe that's just some DLC they're planning to release, who knows these days. So yeah, the good thing about this game is it doesn't bother with all of the early days. You don't learn how you become Spider-Man, you don't learn how to use your abilities. You start the game and you are Spider-Man. That's it. You start the game, you've already got your web swinging abilities. There are skills you can unlock that can make battling and swinging around and traversing a lot easier. One of the things I like as well is when you're swinging around with your webs, there has to be a building nearby or something to web to swing. There's nothing around you in big open space, you ain't using your swinging abilities. You're going to have to use something else. And there are a few missions that cause this, and there's big park areas, but you can still swing off the trees. So you win some, you lose some. There is like water areas which have barely anything. There's a couple of cranes in places, but literally, if you want to be going around those areas, luckily you can swim in this game, so it's not such a big deal. Just swim along, but swimming slow, and just this whole fluidity of the web swinging, it feels natural, you know. Like I spent the first maybe 5, 6, 7 hours in them swinging around, doing little random missions. So what I recommend actually is one of the early missions. I don't want to try and give away too many spoilers, but one of the early missions is to activate all these towers so you can unlock, like you can look at the map. Otherwise it's just a fuzzy mess and you don't know where you are. But you activate the towers and then boom, the whole map's revealed. I recommend doing them all as soon as you can. As you do them, they unlock different ones in the fuzzy areas of the map, so you can still go to them. Once the map's unlocked, that is it. You can do everything pretty much off the bat. Some things unlock a little bit later, like the challenges and the taking pictures of monuments and stuff like that. But nothing really happens too far into the game. Saying that, some of these like side quests or challenges or whatever you want to call them can become a bit repetitive and mundane. Like some of them, you've got research stations, which has Spider-Man swinging through clouds of gas. And then once you've done that, you fixed the issue, easy peasy. So that's what I like about this game, though. It's not too challenging. Like the missions aren't too challenging, but some of the combat can be. But you know, it's a good balance for. I was going to say for children, but this game is rated 16 plus in the UK at least, anyway. So the fact that it is literally go here, do this. A lot of the missions are, and then go back. And then that's it, done. But you know, it's not good. I like it. I personally like it. It's nice to have a single player game that's not too difficult. It's nice just to sit back. It's a kickback game. Kick back and play. Luckily, I had a lot of time to play on this one. I think I clocked up about 50 hours on it before I got to 100%. So, you know, you have plenty of time with that. The combat I would say it's simple. You literally square to just keep hammering square to attack. If you get a spider senses goes off, press circle to dodge. Simple as that. As you unlock abilities, you can like instant web enemies as you're dodging, and then you can just instant take down. As you unlock all your skills, you get more combat options basically. You have a focus bar, which lets you pull off special moves, which again can take down the bad guys in one hit if you like. Some like traversing, you can, as part of the skill tree, is traversal, which lets you unlock different web swinging abilities, and you can get stunts at one point, which is useless apart from earning extra XP. But even then, each stunt's worth about 2 XP, so it's fun. But it's up to you if you want to unlock that. I'll go for the combat stuff first, and then go for that personally, because you're going at the later missions. You get 5,000, 6,000 XP per mission, so you're going to be leveling up easy, no problem. There's plenty of gadgets you can use. You got your web bombs, your trip mines, or your web trip mines, and then you got your suits. And this game, if you like your Spider-Man suits, this game's got them all. They're probably behind me right now, just scrolling through them. But my favourite, by a long shot, I didn't even know this was in the game, but it's the Flaming Skull Spider-Man. I'm not sure if he has an actual name or not. I can't remember ever seeing him in anything, in any of the material. I must have missed that at some point, but then again, I've fallen out of keeping up with like comic books and all that stuff in the recent years due to life commitments. But this was cool, and it's really got me back into it. Now, another thing I want to bring up is just check out these graphics. Let me just get rid of myself for a minute. Just look at the detail on his character faces, especially Aunt May. Like, just one of the best looking character models I ever see. Negatively, look at him. And then you got Mary Jane. She's looking pretty good, pretty dapper. Peter himself, the Doc. All of the characters, all of the details, spot on. Like, this is another one of those games where it just makes me glad that the single player player campaign game isn't dead. Quite personally, I've been doing multiplayer games for the past 10 years. I'm quite bored of multiplayer now, and I'm glad that in the past few months there's been so many games that have come out that are single player or have a good single player. That have been fun to play, rather than just like tacked on, like Call of Duty games. Just tack it on, and then boom, everyone's going to play the multiplayer anyway. The next one's not even going to have one, for God's sake, like a single player campaign. But yeah, back to Spider-Man. Anyway, sorry I digress. So yeah, looks good. Got all the suits to choose from. Each suit has a different ability, from simple things like generating focus quicker to strange things like anti-gravity, mega power punches, etc, etc. There's all kinds of abilities there, all kinds of gadgets. As you level up, you get skill points to unlock your skill tree. This game, the bosses, I want to talk about the bosses quickly, because the bosses, all of the bosses are essentially QTE events with a bit of combat thrown in. But most of them like have magical resistant powers against web attacks and all of that, and when you try and hit them, they're just like, oh yeah, you punch me, great. And then it's like, oh, press square to do this, or press L1 and R1 to do this. And it's like, oh, okay. So basically you throw things at them. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man's punches are supposed to hurt more than things getting thrown at people, but hey, maybe that's just my understanding of his powers all wrong. You know, like 10 times comparable strength to body, or whatever. Anyway, this game does a good job at throwing enemies at you as well. There are plenty of like familiar faces in this. I'm not going to spoil them all, but there are a couple. You obviously got Doc Ock. He's then there, although he's for the most part a good guy at the moment in this game. But we know where his story goes, so we know that's not going to last. Scorpions in here, vultures in here, rhinos in here. There's loads altogether. I'm not going to spoil them all. Keep some surprises in there, but there's just all of this stuff came back to me. Like, this is the first Marvel game I've played in a long time, and like character-wise, like apart from some of the recent films, I haven't really been keeping up with any of it. And this Spider-Man game, it's brought me back. I want to keep up to date, and I want to know what's going on in the Marvel world, or the universe as it's called now. They've got the cinematic universe. Apparently, they're working on a gaming universe as well. Hence why you got the Avengers Tower in the city of Spider-Man. So it's like, it'd be interesting if, say they bring out another Iron Man game. Is it going to be set in the same city? Because I can see that getting quite boring overall. But then Iron Man's ability, he can fly and shit, so he could go anywhere. Plus he's rich, so yeah, he can still go anywhere anyway. Disappointing things. So there's not many disappointing things in this game actually. apart from like I say, some of the missions can be a bit easy and mundane. It's like go here, do this, and then come back here, and it's just like, all right. Like, no, I wouldn't say any mission is more than maybe 15 minutes. Is like, even that's being generous. But that's not a reason not to get it, because there are a lot of missions in this game, especially at the later half, in the final parts of the game. The missions are proper serious, and like, you need to get this done, otherwise everything's going to get fucked up. So it's not, see, it's only a minor, it's like a nitpicky thing for me, and it's nitpicking because there's not much negative in this game. Like I said about the combat as well, it can be a bit mundane, like it's square, 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 square. Oh, I'm about to get attacked, circle. Dodge, yeah. Oh, look, he's got a triangle, which means I can instant takedown him. Boom, let's press triangle, down. There are some enemies in the game. The reason that I say it's mundane is because later in the game, there's these like guys that are proper armoured, got like all this armour on and stuff, and it takes a good 45 seconds to a minute just to take down one of them if you haven't upgraded your skills properly, and if you don't know how to handle them. But like I say, like some of them, if you press just button combinations in the right order at the right time, then you get the option to instant takedown. So it's not a big deal once you get used to the combat. But at first, when you just start bang, 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 knock them back with the kick, and then boom, they're getting up and running back over. Okay, do it again. Blah blah blah. Oh, they're still alive. Okay, blah 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 again. Oh, they're still not knocked out. All right, let's do it again. Do. And then and then you try and weapon them, and then they break out after a while. Although I'm not sure if it's a glitch, but if you've noticed it as well, then you know, I'm sure all of you playing this have had this happen to you. Can't be just me. The brutes, which are the big guys that you need to do special things to be able to actually do any damage to them. If you try to dodge them, they do this weird thing where they'll glide along as they're going for the punch and follow you as you're dodging. So they'll still get the hit, but it just looks really unnatural because they're just gliding along with their punch, and it's just really weird. And I hope that's something they fix, because the whole point of the dodge mechanic is to dodge that shit and not have them glide along and still make contact. Obviously in the code of the game, it's like, yeah, make contact, doesn't matter what the animation looks like, just make the contact. So hopefully that's something they fix. Or maybe that was intentional with the brutes, I don't know, but it just looks unnatural. Okay, I'll just quickly touch on the unlockables, quote unquote, because apart from, there's nothing, you don't get anything for completing the game apart from unlocking the open world. So basically, after you've finished the final mission, watch the credits, you're just free to do whatever you like. Anything you haven't done yet, you can do now, but once you've done all that stuff, that's it. There's literally just running around the streets, and that's it. I mean, I'm sure they'll add more missions down the line, hopefully not as paid DLC, but just keep bringing us random bits and bobs every couple of weeks or something, like most games seem to be doing these days, and it'll be fun. And that's fine, because there's a lot to do in the game. There's plenty of side missions, but once you hit 100%, there's nothing else to do for now. I'm not sure how that would work. If they bring out extra stuff, would the percentage like bar decrease, so you know? So when next time I turn my game, will it say 89% rather than 100? It's like, oh, got 11% more stuff to do. Who knows? I hope they add stuff though, because it is a really good game, and I'm kind of sad that I've done it, because what am I going to play now? You know, got to get the next big game. So another disappointing thing for me is I do not like stealth missions. That's just me. I'm sure people love them, and I understand games have to cater to everyone. But you get to play as Mary Jane Watson and another one, Willie? Oh my god, my mind's just gone blank. Anyway, you get to play as them, and basically they are full-on stealth missions. If you get caught, game over. Go back to the last checkpoint. Literally, you just get seen. You can't try and run away and hide or anything. Just run and hide. Although saying that, there are a couple of sections where MJ and Spider-Man have to team up. And you're playing as MJ, and you're calling out to Spider-Man, and you can see him in the background doing his thing. Those scenes are freaking cool. Just seeing Spider-Man in the background doing his thing while you're playing as someone else. And you're doing the call-outs. Just makes, just looks good. And that's the kind of stuff I like. So when you're playing as MJ on her own, you've got to sneak around the bad guys and just be like, hey, pretend good scene, let's push this off. Oh, these guys are idiots. Look at him walking around there. I'm clearly in full view. Just, again, doesn't flow. Another nitpicky thing. I mean, it can be fun. I can see why people would enjoy this. But for me, I'm an action guy. I like to go in, guns a-blazing, just knocking everyone out. And that's it. But, alas, you get through it. There are just some challenge missions, like I mentioned, which have stealth... like stealth elements. You have to sneak out, and again, if you get spotted, that's it, game over. Go back to checkpoint or start again. And it's just like, really? Because the way they're set out sometimes, you have to realize, you have to find a pattern basically, and sometimes the patterns are obvious, and sometimes they're like, well, how the hell am I going to get that guy without that guy seeing me? And for some reason, MJ gets a device that distracts people, and so does Willie, but no one else, like Spider-Man, doesn't get this device. And if you fire something to try and distract one of the guards, the other guys will all see it as well, and they'll be like, oh look, there's Spider-Man up there. Just like, really? But you don't think Spider-Man's there when MJ is using the device Spider-Man gave her to do his stuff. Very strange. But anyway, again, a nitpicky thing. I'm just, you know, I could have done without them, but you know, they're there, so people can have fun with them. I really don't want to spoil this game too much, but because I'm sure there's many people that haven't played it yet. But there are so many, like, so many surprise moments, because for the past few years I've fallen out with haven't fallen out like bad way, just haven't been keeping up with Marvel stuff. So there's stuff that happens in this game that shocked me, and I was like, really? But then she works with him and he works with her, but he's this and that's that, and what's going on? And I like the way the game names some of the characters their name rather than their like Marvel name, if you know what I mean. So like the first main boss in the game is it's called Fisk, but they call him Fisk, but it's Kingpin. They're like the trophy popped up. I was like, that's got to be Kingpin. That is Kingpin. And then the trophy, when I beat him, the trophy popped up saying Kingpin down or whatever the trophy's called. I was like, I knew it. Just call him Kingpin. That's his character's name. Damn it. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for Spider-Man. Go check it out. Hope you've been enjoying the stuff behind me, so you can see what it's like. Go and get a PS4. Like, seriously, just go on, and then, you know, you can enjoy this amazing game because it's the Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, I think I've said all the good things I can say, all the bad things. It looks good. It plays good. It is really fluid, to be fair. The combat, especially, I like, so there's crime missions throughout. Like, as you're swinging around, you got a radio in your mask basically, and you can hear police chat, and so you know when there's crime happening, and a red exclamation mark comes up, and you can go to it and sort it out. You're swinging around, and that pops up down here. You can literally just press triangle, and you just web onto someone, and then just drag them, like pull yourself down onto them with force, and that guy's taken out. And it's just such a powerful feeling. You can, you know, when you're swinging around the city, don't run. You can run around the city if you want, but you move. It just feels like you move so slowly. You got to constantly swing. I don't think I ever spent much time on the floor apart from to get the trophy to interact with 10 citizens around the streets. Simple. But yeah, just I swung everywhere. There's no need to walk in this game. You're Spider-Man. Why would you be walking? Another thing, another negative, but it's not really a negative because it keeps you doing stuff, is the amount of items you need to find or things you need to do to unlock skills and upgrades for your gadgets and stuff. So for some reason you need to find something like 65 backpacks to be able to fully upgrade something, and you need to unlock or complete the missions of 30 research stations to unlock more things, and some of them are combinations of this, so you might need like 5 backpacks, 2 research stations, 2 crime tokens to unlock a new suit, for example. I don't like that. They shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to jump through hoops to upgrade like that many hoops. So why have I got to do a crime thing, a research thing, and a hunt to unlock an upgrade that gives my web slinger like one more blast, my web blast one more blast? You know, that just doesn't seem worth it to me. It should be complete. Get this. Like the 65 backpacks you got to find one. Boom, there you go. What does that unlock? Then it unlocks an upgrade or, you know, whatever. But, you know, some people like that. It's the collector's thing. I understand. Again, it's just not for me. I'd rather just unlock it, like get it and unlock it. So one thing I'm hating about games at the moment, like, you just gotta find so much thing. Like, collect 100 of this to unlock this little thing that does 100 plus stats, when the stats are like based in the millions. Like, that's a plus 100, isn't doing fuck all. Anyway, I digress. Hope you enjoyed Spider-Man. I'm not going to spoil any further because I don't want to. Really, I don't want to. The game is so good, I don't want to tell you anything. You need to go play it. So anyway, if I think of anything else, I'll add it in. And yeah, until next time, guys, I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.